suckers, man.
And I gotta hold it down for you because you know I'm good, bro.
All right, bro. I like the way you hold it out here.
I gotta hold it down.
I like the way you address the suckers, man.
And I gotta hold it down for you because you know the suckers gonna talk crazy.
They don't never come outside. We outside.
Nothing in the something. No handouts, I don't need nothing. Nothing in the something. No matter what, I'm 10 toes down to the shit. They praying on my fall, ain't no way that I'ma quit. I'm coming for it all, I don't wanna have to pick. I want it, I'ma get it. And if I have to bet, I get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Get it out the mud, turning nothing into something. I'm good on that big love, no handouts, I don't need nothing. I had to be alone just to see how much I've grown. Don't gotta hit my phone, cause I can get it on my own. Yeah, I'm off the scene right now, on a mission, so the moon is back on my screen right now. Do not disturb, oh you believe in me now. Where were you when I was down? Now you wanna come around, it's hard to face it, but I'm good.
I'm just about unifying, man. It's a beautiful thing to see us all come together. To see the Kings, the Blood, the Crips, and everybody come together.
Nothing in the something. No handouts, I don't need nothing. Nothing in the something. No matter what, I'm 10 toes down to the shit. They praying on my fall, ain't no way that I'ma quit. I'm coming for it all, I don't wanna have to pick. I want it, I'ma get it. And if I have to bet, I get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Get it out the mud, turning nothing into something. I'm good on that big love, no handouts, I don't need nothing. I had to be alone just to see how much I've grown. Don't gotta hit my phone, cause I can get it on my own. Yeah, I'm off the scene right now, on a mission, so the moon is back on my screen right now. You know
that's what I'm saying, PNL. That's where the boxing goes, nigga. You, are you kidding me?
I got to meet another brother. Yeah. Feel me? Let's see y'all do it.
Yeah. Let me see y'all do it. Y'all ain't gonna do it. Man, we doing the check-in right now. We got to check in. I got to make sure everybody in the building, man. Shout out to my man Capone. Capone! Chi-Town. Yeah. Shout out to Capone. Capone started that on the check-in. Capone was doing that. That's where Tank get that from. Shout out to Capone on the check-in. What I am so far? I got Memphis, Tennessee on the check-in. What's going on, shorty? Do-wop. Wolf on Wall Street. Oh, that's the sister Misunderstood. So I'm gonna bring her in the building in a minute. And we're gonna get this thing going. Y'all can ask questions. I'm allow her to bring people up if she want to bring anybody up to ask questions, to talk. We're gonna keep it professional. We ain't gonna get crazy. It's Brooklyn in the house, without a doubt. I'm the rapper that y'all all speak about. That's right. Brooklyn is in the house. When Brooklyn's in the house, oh my God, you already know what it is. Brooklyn in the building. What's happening? Brooklyn in the building. DC, DC in the building. Don't care. DC don't care in the building. What's happening? VA, what's that? Martinsville. Martinsville is in the hills now. It's still light outside. I didn't even know it was 8 o'clock. I'm bugging. Forgot to still be light outside. It's late. The Amazing Spider-Man. Simping. Who's simping? I'm simping, Spider-Man. How was that? What is simping that? The sister want to tell her story. She gonna come up. She gonna give a story. OG Blue, what's happening? Salute to Blue in the building, man. I ain't never do a whole interview with OG Blue. OG Blue, I'm gonna have to get you up for an interview. No matter of fact, we're gonna save that for you know who, Blue. You know who you gonna joint you're gonna do it on. We're gonna say that. Yeah, I just like to fit it. I don't even care. I wear any fitted. Anytime you'll see me with a fitted on any team, I don't give a shit about a baseball team, a basketball team, none of that shit. I don't care about no team. I don't care. As long as it go with the colors. I like the colors. Color coordinated. That's it. I don't give a fuck about a goddamn team. You're my team. This is my team right here. Team 10 toes down. That's the team. I'm the team. So yeah, we're gonna have a sister come up here. Misunderstood. We've been supporters of each other. Misunderstood been a YouTuber for some time now. Misunderstood was battling like many Americans and everybody. She's been battling drug addiction, and it was difficult for her to overcome it, but she did it. Pull up, Miss. Misunderstood is in the building. Pull up, Missy. The link is in the chat. Yeah, Misunderstood was battling this addiction, in which a lot of people suffer from different addictions. Hers was just I'm gonna let her tell it. I'm gonna let her tell it. But other than that, man, everything's good. Everything's going perfect. And I want you to remember one thing. For all the haters and the people who backbite and talk behind a person's back, make crazy, stupid videos about 10, please don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Please keep making bad videos. I don't give a fuck what you say. I need it. I need the hate. I need it. Keep me in that algorithm. I need it. Oh, you say she's fine? Oh, okay. Okay, Misunderstood. They liking you, Misunderstood. Let me see how Misunderstood come up here. She gonna come up extra cute. No, Misunderstood, you gonna show your face through the whole video. We ain't gonna be what's the name, Misunderstood? Bring your butt back up in here. We're gonna be showing that little animated face. You're gonna show your real faces. What's this? Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Oh shit. Wait a minute, I gotta put this shit over here. Wait a minute, I forgot to do something, y'all. Something I forgot to do. Yeah, we're just gonna give her a second. I guess she's trying to get it together to come up here. You know, women take their time with whatever they got to do. They're gonna take their time with it. You know, I don't give a fuck about nothing. I got to look cute. I got to make sure I'm right. So give her some time to pull up. I'm just throwing some things up in here, throwing some things up in my box to so I can show you guys when we start our dialogue. Oh shit. They gotta be patient with 10. Because my guess as good as yours. Hold on, do I got it in the thing? Where is that? Chief Red Hair Brown Eyes, salute. Thanks for the super chat. Stay out of that goddamn white man's prison. You already know what it is. Well, I believe that Trump in the Bronx with Chef G, he using what he can. Trump is using what he can to win, in which everybody use They got different tactics on how they can attack this whole presidential, to try to win this presidential thing. Hold on, let me make a call. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the sister. She was in the back for a second. But if not, you know the show must go on. 10 Toes still gonna make it happen. Wolverine is in the building. Guys, we got definitely in the building. Definitely. You know what it is, man. But yeah, we're gonna dialogue real quick. So what it is that you already know about the situation with me and these other YouTubers when it comes to content, creating content. I was going to go on this other platform before and just show them some love, try to help build a platform up, help get them some subscribers. But I had other things to attend to, and what y'all seen in the videos and everything when it came time for me to show up and show out. And I couldn't make it. But these guys, these men, so-called men, these guys call themselves men, got their panties on in a bunch. And they got in their feelings. They got upset with him because I wasn't there to help them. But all of that man stuff went out the window. They be in their feelings. Like I always tell you, their fathers, their daddies wasn't in their lives. That's what it is. Listen, misunderstood. I don't know where you at, sis, or what's going on. But you was in the back for a second. Then you pulled out. Hold on. He spoke on a eulogy in the ring. That's right. That's a fact. Salute to everybody in the chat. Here go Misunderstood. Hey, Misunderstood.
I'm sorry. You know what happened is I logged on and then my computer just gave out on me, so I had to restart my computer.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Always. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It is so hot out here. It's already 93 degrees outside.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Because what time is it where you at?
5:15.
5:15. She in where you at?
Palm Springs, Cali.
Cali. Okay. Cali.
Yep.
What type of neighborhood is that?
Kind of it's a desert vibe, kind of suburban, kind of, I'm in a desert. I'm in a low desert.
Oh, the desert? Okay.
Yeah.
House, you in an apartment? What you live in, a house, apartment, what? I
have a little condo out here. It's very cool. I just moved, so I'm doing it.
All right, so tell the people a little about yourself.
So my name is Misunderstood. I have a sobriety channel. I've been on a sobriety journey. I struggled with methamphetamines for 20 years or so, give or take a few years. And now I am a little past 2 years sober. So I'm pretty excited about that.
You're a little past 2 years with your sobriety.
My 2-year birthday was May 21st.
That's what's up. And you
I got a big old smile on my face.
That's right. Yep. You looking brighter, looking more happy. You looking much happier.
Yeah. So since all the craziness and stuff like that, I went to school, graduated from the program I was doing so I could work with other addicts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that have changed. So I'm busy with that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's what's up. How's your daughter doing?
Great. She's about to graduate. Yep.
So how old is she now?
She'll be 18. She's 18 years old.
So she was like what, 14 back then? 13,
yeah.
15?
It's been about 5 years.
Damn, time done flew by. Yo, listen, so you know, a lot of people know who misunderstood is. She is misunderstood because she's misunderstood in the wording, because she at the time, I think the word misunderstood came because she was battling a lot. So people didn't understand her when it came to her addiction, her mindset, the whole thought process of drugs, family, relationships, and everything that she used to talk about when she came on her channel. But today she's a walking, living testimony of change, that a person can change and make a difference in their lives before that final day comes. And that's what's most important. As long as you make that change every day that you wake up, that's just another day that you are able to make that change in your life. And so tell me, what was it like for you? Just the beginning, how did you even get on drugs, period?
It was crazy. So when I was first introduced to drugs, I was a young girl. Someone had given it to me, but I was young. I really didn't know anything about it. When I got hooked on drugs, it was after I got out of the military. I started with cocaine and then eventually switched to methamphetamines.
You didn't start with like weed or nothing like that?
Nope.
You went straight to cocaine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you went straight Richard Pryor. So you went straight cocaine, and then how long you was on cocaine for?
I'm not sure because of time lapse. I'm not sure because I spent the majority of the time struggling with methamphetamines. So I ended up kicking the coke. I actually went to rehab for cocaine, didn't graduate any rehab programs. But then when I was given meth, the first time I was given methamphetamines was put in a drink. I wasn't sure what it was. I just knew I had this drink and it just made me feel weird. Eventually I was told it was methamphetamine. So I wanted more of that. And then as I started using methamphetamines, I no longer wanted the cocaine because it was a stronger high. So
just tell the people, because I don't even know. I've seen it before, but I don't know what it is. Methamphetamine. What exactly is the high like?
Okay. I'm going to be real. So it said that the high from methamphetamines is 10 times stronger than orgasm. I don't know if I said that word over here, but that's what they say. Okay, let me tell you something. So you
coming? Oh, hell no. You're going to get me hooked?
Wait, let me explain it. Let me say it. I'm telling you.
Make me get high? What the fuck?
No. But okay, so it is a party type drug. You feel a strong, I need to turn my air conditioner on. I'm hot as hell. You feel a strong sense of euphoria. And if you look up methamphetamines, it is going to describe the high like that because a lot of people use it it increases your libido. I didn't need any help in that kind of area, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys. It is a strong sense of euphoria. It's extremely addicting. And just think about speed. Everything is sped up. So you get like this burst of energy, right? And so eventually what happens is you can't even do things that you would normally do because you depend on this drug for that feeling.
So when you're on it, right, is it just in your mind that you think that things is moving faster? Or
no, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So the hard thing is, okay, so your heart rate speeds up. You can overheat. So you put yourself at risk for a stroke and stuff like that. Eventually, everything is a stimulant. So everything is literally sped up. So for me, I'm already a hyper person. Like you can see right now, like I'm hyper. So I was so messed up on it. But you're pretty much out of your mind. Have you heard of the phrase, the term tweaking? Like you ever hear somebody say, oh, wow, they're tweaking? Okay, so you start a lot of stuff, you don't finish it, and literally everything is sped up. Some people stay up for 4 or 5 days at a time because they can't sleep. So you see a lot of truck drivers, you use it to get a lot of stuff done. That's not the only reason you use it. But yeah, but you're feeling high. But what happens after time is it doesn't work. Like you deplete your dopamine levels, so you're not feeling that high anymore, but you're constantly chasing that feeling, and you're just using it to not feel the down. Because if you come so far up, you got to come down. So that crash is horrible.
So how's the crash? Like, what did it make you feel when you crashed?
The crash? Horrible. Depressed, can't get up, a depression that you never believe, and then eventually things that normally would make you feel good doesn't make you feel good anymore, and you're only living to use that drug.
Was your bones aching and stuff like that?
Oh, hell yeah. Your bones, your teeth, everything would hurt. My vision was affected. So it got to the point where things were blurry. I got so sick on it. But the staying in bed for 2 weeks it's horrible because you really can't get up. That depression is just so heavy. Not to mention the aches is one thing, but it's the depression that comes after it. And so you know that if you use again, you're gonna feel well. So that's the cycle.
And is that an expensive drug or no?
No, okay, so here's the thing. It's a cheap drug, so I'm not sure. It's a cheap drug, but the habit becomes expensive because you're buying lighters, the paraphernalia. It becomes expensive. And if I told you guys how much I spent on, you'd be like, damn. But tens of thousands of dollars on the drug eventually.
How much you think you spent in the whole time of your addiction of methamphetamine?
For the whole time, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, easily.
Think 100,000?
Easily.
Yeah. And what you was copping at a time, like what, spending $100, $200, $300?
Well, that's kind of tricky because not all the time. It's kind of tricky. So if you understand the drug world, it's like sometimes I would spend extra just not to be taken advantage of by the dealer. So let's say that normally he would have charged somebody $80. A lot of times I was paying $200 to $300. So that way the guy wouldn't want to sleep with me. Or I eventually got to the point where I found a steady person to deliver it to my house. But in those earlier days, I definitely would $200 to $300 each time. And it wasn't even for like an 8 or anything. I'm not sure even how it comes. But yeah, $200 to $300. So
okay.
To be left alone. And I hate to say that, but it was hard to find someone that wasn't gonna want extra. But I think that's just a part of the drug, and a lot of people don't like to really admit that. But if a guy sees that you're addicted, he's gonna probably take advantage of that. It is what it is. Did I pick my skin king? I did, but mostly just under my nose. So in some of my older videos, you'll see I have like scabs on my skin, and it took a while for that to clear up. My neck broke out really bad because you get skin rashes and things like that. So yeah, I did pick my skin. That was something I didn't think would heal, but it did heal after maybe about 6 months of being clean. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what happened to 10 toes, so I'm just gonna read your comments. I know pain pills and dope is way worse than the flu, and it chills, aches, and so on. The pain and the aches is really bad. I would not say that it's as bad as like a opioid addiction, because that's a painful withdrawal, but it's there. The aches is bad, but the depression is way worse. Yeah.
So what is one of the craziest things you did?
Oh God. Where the hell do I start? I would say, honestly, let me turn my camera off for a second. I need to turn my air conditioner. I think the craziest things for me with the meth is meeting people while on the drug, because I had no way to vet them. I really didn't know the situations I was putting myself in. And then it got to a point where I would use in some crazy places. Now, I got to the point where, because what happens is you can't really leave your house, right? So I didn't like to drive with the drug and stuff like that, but I got to the point where I would have to carry my little tools. I remember one time I was in a church. I really wanted to get through this church service, but at that time I was not into church. I had to take it. I used it up in the pastor's little green room, whatever, and I felt really guilty about that, but I was straight for church, I felt like. So it's just a lot of things. I think the craziest thing is just needing it all the time and having to have it on you after a while. Free Thinker said, what happened after the military that changed their usage from casual to full-blown addiction. That's kind of loaded free thinker. So the first time I have ever experienced a drug was from my childhood, and I wasn't sure what that drug was at that time. I just knew it was something. It was something that had to do with some of the abuse I dealt with as a child. As I got older, I didn't become addicted to drugs till after the military. That's when I tried it as an adult. So that would be it. I lived a different kind of lifestyle, and I got addicted to drugs in my 20s. So let me look at y'all. Question: does meth make you violent? I always heard people that do meth are violent. I've never been a violent person. I think whatever you are, it makes you that much more. I never had a problem with that. I've always been kind of a passive person. Some people probably get violent because when you hit that tweaker stage, you become desperate for the drug. So if they become violent, it's probably they either hit a meth psychosis where you start having hallucinations, or and they start just wanting the drug a lot, and maybe they try to rob someone. We're not really violent on that. Well, if you go through psychosis, you can become violent. Yeah.
You can see the chat.
I can see the chat. Yeah.
So Jay Savage says, how long does it take to become addicted to meth?
Everybody's different. But sometimes people like to think the first time you try a drug, you become addicted to it. I wouldn't say that. I don't know anyone that can use meth casually because of how it hijacks your dopamine levels in the brain. Everybody's different, so I can't really say.
All right. It says this right here too. The real deal. Even some of the treatments like Suboxone and methadone are worse to get off, but then it's better than the pain pills.
Yeah, Suboxone and methadone are hard to get off of, but trying to get off of pain pills is cooler. I feel sorry for anybody that's trying to recover from that. That is a painful addiction, I've got to say. Yeah. So I would agree with real deal.
So how did your family take it when you hold on. First, you said you was in the service?
I was in the military, yeah.
Army, the Marines, Air Force.
The Navy, I was on the USS Odendorf. I would be on a ship called the Odendorf, right? It's a little destroyer. I loved it. And then I eventually went to Great Lakes for a core school. So yeah, I was in the military. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There was a question that I wanted to go back to. Is that okay? Wait, meth changes your looks. Was you on it long enough for it to change your appearance? Yes, I was. Now, here's the thing, though. So you wouldn't even realize the people that was addicted, because sometimes, like, so when you're looking at those shows, the mugshots from, you know what I'm talking about, the before and after. I can't think of what it's called. But anyways, they show pictures of meth before and after. It does change your looks. I was really careful. I've always been into my dental hygiene for reasons, because, you know, I just was, right? I took care of my skin, but my skin, it did affect my looks. My skin was affected. I had skin rashes. Thankfully, I have most of my teeth, but I did lose one. I lost one because I did a handstand when I was high. I thought it was a good idea. The floor was wet and I cracked my tooth, and I didn't get it fixed because I went back to smoking and I couldn't stay sober long enough for the anesthesia. So that was but usually because it eats your tooth enamel, like it eats out your teeth. So you heard a meth mouth and all that. It does affect your appearance, and it affected mine, but thankfully I got, you know, I feel okay now.
Okay. Somebody else asked this. Misunderstood. What's your affiliate? This is Adam Ontario. What's your affiliation with Bullets Gotti? That's how you found your channel a few years ago.
Thank you. Gotti's Gotti's been supportive. You know, he's a moderator on my channel. I'm a moderator over on his channel. He's been supportive. I've helped him with his channel, and I've supported him throughout his YouTube journey. Okay. Can I explain meth psychosis? Meth psychosis is where you start to hallucinate. So that's where someone was asking if I picked my skin, because you feel like there's bugs crawling on your skin, so you'll pick at it. You might, you know, hear things. I definitely went through the meth psychosis, so it was hard for me to really understand what people were telling me. That comes after long-term drug use And I remember when I went through a meth psychosis, I didn't realize I was going through it. But I do remember some of my community wall posts was like, you would think I had schizophrenia. I couldn't really understand my messages. Even when I was trying to reply to some of my comments, it was like all over the place. And it was hard for me to type. My fingers got to the point where they weren't even working anymore. When I hit a meth psychosis, it was probably after one of my I overdosed several times and I got really sick. But it's just like it sounds, you're hallucinating and you're going through a psychosis that was induced by methamphetamines. So what a lot of people don't realize when you're going through that, there was this girl, she was a young girl, she's a woman now, but she went through a psychosis and she gouged her eyes out, literally. She dug into her eyes. She's blind now. You can Google it. And that's how strong that psychosis is. Like what you're thinking you see or what you think you feel is real to you. And it's a really dangerous stage. So at that point, you can become violent. Yeah. And when many people are on meth, they don't keep up with dental hygiene and medical appointments. Yeah. So that was something I did. I actually had a team behind me. I had a therapist. I had a doctor literally with me. And plus I had another physician. So I did keep up with that. But a lot of people don't have access to all of that stuff. Nevertheless, it did affect my health. I still have stomach problems where it's hard for me to eat sometimes. That was caused by methamphetamines, you know, so I'm dealing with it. What was the best resistance for meth? What's the best resistant method? Detoxing. I did it cold turkey. Now the medicine they give out now is Suboxone, but I was already past that stage when I found out about it. I wasn't given it. I kind of wish I was, but now I'm grateful that I wasn't given it because I'm not on anything right now. I don't even take antidepressants. I thought I would be on antidepressants forever, but yeah, we're doing good.
That's what's up. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your daughter, she's seen you go through this whole transition, right?
Okay. Let me tell you about that. So my daughter didn't really know that I was on drugs for a while. Not until, so when she found out she was older, obviously she was older, and my dance coach had talked to me and told me that I need to tell her. She really didn't know. So when I told her at first, she started crying. She didn't understand. She just kind of knew the stories that she heard on TV. I explained to her my childhood, which was pretty, you know, I had a traumatic upbringing. So I talked to her about some of the stuff that I went through that I didn't want her to go through, how it was put in my drink before. So, you know, don't take stuff from people. I explained that to her and I just had to tell her. But it wasn't really until we had CPS called on us again and again because of my YouTube, just people calling CPS. That's when I had to tell her. She was a little older at that time. So when I first told her, she was kind of young. Well, not that young, but I don't know, 14, 15, whatever. But when CPS came and they were removed from the house, I was sober at that time, but I had to explain to her the history of the drugs and why, you know, I have to fight for her to come back. Okay. So she had to go through all of that, and that was hard. So she definitely got to see the transition because she was old enough to understand, okay, so this is why mommy goes away sometimes. This is why she wasn't always there. So how she feels now about the whole your sobriety and everything? We have the closest relationship, and for me, see, my daughter, I let her stay, you know. So I had a second place. I had my home, and then I had a home away from my home, and I would just go there. So when I explained all that to her, I decided, okay, as I got well, I just needed to be present because we've always been close, but there's definitely those absences, right? And I definitely wanted to talk to her because there may have been things that she realized that I didn't know she was going through. So I let my daughter vent if she wanted to. If my daughter wanted to yell at me. And I think as a mom, it's hard sometimes to let our daughters express themselves because we think like, oh, don't let them talk back. No, let your kids express themselves. I let my daughter tell me if she's feeling hurt or if she's angry or anything like that because she went through a lot. But we are really close today. That relationship is better than ever. But it took a lot of work just to make sure that she wasn't hurt from the stuff that I did. I mean, when CPS came, I didn't have her. I think it took me about 3 months to get her back. Now, I was sober at that time, but I never want to go through that again. And I know that that was like the biggest thing that she went through growing up, in my opinion. That was really hard for her to go through.
What kind of dog is that you got?
This is my standard poodle, Blue. He wants my attention right now. He wants to walk, but it's too hot to walk him. He doesn't have his doggy boots. I have to buy him some more boots. But this is
doggy
standard
boots?
poodle.
You got him doggy
because
boots?
the ground is so hot. It burned his little feet. He has boots. He has a seat. Well, I need to buy him a new seatbelt. And, you know, for my car, he has like his little.
You got him a seatbelt.
Yeah, he got a seatbelt. It's a dog. It's made for dogs.
Okay.
Do you have a dog?
He got a hat too?
No, he doesn't have a hat because he's rocking his fro. It's too hot out here.
Okay. Got glasses. He need glasses for reading? How about that? How about glasses for reading? He got glasses.
I mean, he got no glasses, but he got a seatbelt. So when he drives, you haven't seen my driving. So I need to make sure Blue is safe. So, you know, he's secure in the seat. It keeps him there. But I need more. And his little boots are so cute so he don't burn his feet. I gotta know.
Okay.
He wants my attention.
So tell me about relationships wise. How was your relationship like when you was dealing with a guy? What happened?
Relationships.
Guy wanted you, or was he off it? Was he on it too or no?
Was who?
The guys you was dealing with, was they on meth too or no? No. So how would they deal with you being on it?
Well, the relationship. Well, most people know. So the relationship that they would help me to get off. Like Don Cato is one that a lot of people know. I didn't mean to put his name on your platform, but would help me to get sober. But I can't really speak about their experiences. I would like to, but I don't know because a lot of the stuff is like it. They remember like, okay, there's my child's father. My child's father, I didn't really use around him because of his profession. So that's tricky because he's a physician and I was not, I couldn't use it around him. The other relationship that that I was in was hard, but he remembers it a lot better than me. All I could say is that he helped me get sober. He helped me when I needed to kick the drug, but I know that it was hard. And I know that he says that there's things that he remembers that I don't. So I know that those relationships are difficult. Oh, so right, that Junior. Yes, I don't know him, but
where's he at now?
He's still around.
He's still around? Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he's just.
All right, so the question is,
it's just I know that the first thing that's gonna suffer in your addiction are your relationships. So, it's a lot of.
So, the question is this, right? Because I know you're gonna get the question. I mean, I got the questions already. You single?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me clear that up. I see Free Thinker. Your kid's dad did help. DK helped. The rest didn't. She's absolutely right. So when I was saying that they helped, I'm speaking specifically about those two. That helped me before I even realized that I needed help. So yeah, I don't want to not acknowledge that. Absolutely.
So are you single? What the hell happened just now?
Did you say what happened to the sound?
No, I said, are you single? What the hell you said sound? Who said sound? I said single.
No, I'm in a relationship.
You are?
I'm in a relationship.
Got it. There you go, guys. She's in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A happy relationship?
Yes. Okay. The reason why I'm hesitant is because, because it's hard sometimes online and some people know our history, been through a lot. So I'm just going to say, yeah, we're in a happy, healthy relationship, but you still got to work on stuff because of, I just got to work on stuff. Like I said, there's things that he's going to remember that I don't remember. Okay. So I acknowledge that.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Mhm.
So how about drinking? Do you drink?
Nope.
Nothing? Wine? Anything?
I don't drink. Now let me tell you something. There's a time I had to think about that one because I'm not addicted to alcohol. But I went on this trip, right? And I thought it would be, I didn't think anything of it. I tasted some alcohol that someone offered to me, right? And the backlash I got from that was just horrible. People telling me I messed up my sobriety. I need to start my days over. I talked to my therapist. I talked to my, my doctor and just different people, and they all disagreed. But I just felt like this. It's not worth it because do I think that I can have a drink and maintain my sobriety? Yes, I absolutely do. But I don't because my channel, I'm talking to people with different addictions. As of right now, I'm going to tell you I have no intentions on drinking. I do not think if I have a drink, it will mess up my sobriety because I was addicted to methamphetamines. But I'm kind of on the fence with that one. I don't really have the answers for that yet.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
The 12-step program says, nothing, abstinent from everything. So I understand that, but that's not. Some people, it's about harm reduction. I know people that instead of using heroin, they smoke marijuana, right? That's not me. I don't smoke anything. I won't smoke anything. But as of right now, I'm not drinking or doing anything at all.
Okay. You got a lot of people that's supporting you. They give you a lot of big ups in here.
I appreciate them. I appreciate them. And it's been a lot. When I tell you, it's really hard when I decided I was going to do this publicly, Recover Out Loud, share the relapses, share that's why you can ask me whatever you want. And if I take a while to answer, I have to tell you that using the drugs, there's a lot of things that I don't remember that I'm still processing myself. And it took a lot of therapy to put a lot of things together. But I did decide to recover out loud. So I shared my relapses. I've been through some crazy stuff online. So I had to deal with all of that, the shame, the criticism. So they've been through a lot with me. So I appreciate them still rocking with me and supporting me. I do.
What are your triggers? Someone asked a question. What are your triggers?
For the drug, my trigger is some people offering it to me. Trying to, showing up like, hey, here's a gift. Because now that used to make me stumble, right?
People do that to you since you've been off of it?
Yeah. Oh. So that's a trigger, but I've learned to overcome it. And when it comes in the form of a Cash App, I take that Cash App and keep it moving. You're not gonna get a refund. But and there's been a couple times I don't go to the places where I used to score. Do you know that, score when you go pick up a drug? But that would be the biggest trigger. But I'm pretty confident that I can overcome that, but I don't test it either. I don't go to the places that I used to go. So, you got to be conscious of that.
They say you got to change people, places, and things. So
that's true. That's true.
Somebody asked, did you come on ZX channel a while back?
Yes.
Oh, that's where they know you from. They were saying.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, big bro. Do I still get triggers even though I've been sober for 2 years? Well, country, I do still get triggers, but it's not quite the same. The first year was the hardest. I was only trying to get to 3 months at a time, 3 months and then 6 months. Actually, let me go back 7 days. And then I went to 11 days and then a month and then 3 months at a time. Right. So that first year was really hard. The first year was really hard. Once I got past the first year, it got better. I still get triggers, but not really the cravings anymore. Sometimes it's, I have to be careful. Like if I'm thinking about it, then it's like, no, we need to change our thinking. I can't get too comfortable because I'm not in the clear. But as far as cravings and stuff like that, I can tell you that I'm done with the drug. but I just take it day by day still. When we speak of addictions, people need to understand that we all have addictions that doesn't benefit our growth. That's right, Larry.
Somebody said, do you agree that having addiction is a disease?
I do. It fits the disease module. And I know that people like to think, okay, we did it to ourselves. I do believe that addiction is a disease. We can choose to use, but we don't choose to become addicted, and it affects our brain. So it's a chronic illness. I believe it's a brain disease. With that being said, it can be treated just like any other disease. If you have, high cholesterol or heart disease, we cause that by our eating habits, right? How do you fix that? You change the way that you eat. Same for a drug. I do believe that addiction is a disease, and you treat it by no longer using the substance or whatever you're addicted to. Absolutely.
So do you think that the drugs still affect you today as far as mentally or physically, like with anxiety or panic attacks or any mental health?
Absolutely, it does. I physically, I'm always working on my skin, because what we put inside our body affects our skin. It's our largest organ, right? I mean, I definitely still work on that, but my mind, I fight depression. I'm doing well with it. I know how to manage. The lining of my stomach is healing. It got messed up from the methamphetamines. The ingredients in meth is really toxic. And sometimes I struggle, sometimes when I'm putting my thoughts together. But I have to say, those things got better. It took literally a full year for my brain to start healing in a way that I could notice. So, yeah.
Somebody asks, are certain addictions hereditary?
I don't want to mess up on this word that I'm looking for. Okay, I have to use different words because I can't think of the word I'm trying to figure out right now. If you have addiction in your family, then I don't know if the word I'm looking for is predisposed. We're going to keep it simple. If you have addiction in your family, then, that can affect you, but I don't know how to answer that. I'm going to leave that alone. It can. So if you have parents that are alcoholic, if you drink, can you be at risk for becoming an alcoholic as well? Yes. So I would not drink because two people can drink, right? One becomes addicted and another one doesn't. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't know a better way to explain it. I won't say that if your parents used, will you use? I don't think so. I think it puts you more at risk because you can always choose not to use.
Mm-hmm. Did you have family who had drug or alcohol addiction?
Yeah. My dad. Shout out to my dad. Sometimes he watches and then I get a call later. But yeah. Mm-hmm. My dad struggled with alcohol and he overcame that. So
that's what's up.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's used other stuff as well, but he's not open to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about something else.
Mm-hmm.
We passed that addiction. We know that you're good right now. We know that you overcame. I think, when it comes to drugs and when it comes to any addiction or anything that you're battling in life, the battle ain't completely won until you're dead and you're not doing it no more, period.
I agree.
A friend of mine, he was addicted to drugs before, and he said he was clean for over 10 years. And he said the moment he picked up that addiction, which was just cigarettes, he said the moment he picked another cigarette up, all those 10 years didn't even matter. Those 10 years that he was clean, that he wasn't smoking cigarettes, that it wiped all that away, that he never was sober. It was just staying dormant. And he was just holding off until that time comes that he can use to smoke again.
Wow.
I think
I could definitely relate to that. I could tell you one of the most disappointing relapses that I've had was when I was 4 months clean. For me, that was a really big deal. I never thought I would get there. And I'm like, I got so comfortable and I felt great. And then I had a relapse. It was one of the worst that I've had. And it was almost as if I didn't have that clean time. because I went right back into full out. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't just stop at that point. I went right back. Now I know that cigarettes is not methamphetamines, but you go back to whatever it is, then yeah, I totally can understand that. I'll be fighting this for the rest of my life for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did being on methamphetamine change like your sexual desires? Like after being off of it, like now, like certain drugs can hit you, so you don't even have no more sex drive, no more nothing. Did it
Let me tell you about this drug, okay? So I've always had, you know, I've always had a healthy libido, but the drug, a lot of people use it to enhance that. I never had that issue, but my problem was when I stopped using the depression, I didn't want to do anything. So I'm surprised any relationships or friendships could have survived because I didn't want to talk to anybody. I felt miserable. So in that sense, when you stop using it, everything that brought you pleasure, you don't want to do, you just want to use. So eventually, even though I was normal, healthy, and all of that, everything I did was dependent upon this drug at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel the loss of that. I actually grieved it. When I say I grieved it, I'm talking about like just boo-hoo crying, and I don't care who chose me over that shit. I really felt that I lost a friend. Like I felt like I lost something, but I got to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. I was literally going to die if I used again.
That's good. That's a good thing. Some of us need that wake up call. Some of it come in different forms. The wake up calls come in different forms. It may come from having a lost loved one, seeing a friend die, or you almost dying. Whatever it was that made you change and to fight this addiction and that's keeping you going, just continue doing it.
I had a close call. So when a certain person, I'll tell you on the back end, but a certain person called CPS, right? It was over some YouTube stuff, right? I was clean. I was sober at the time. It was over some YouTube stuff. And when the kids got taken away, I am so grateful that I was sober. However, at that point, it was such a battle, right? So I had to do a hair follicle, urine test, blood test again and again and again for several months before I can get those kids back. I thank God that I was sober. If I would have had a relapse or anything like that, I wouldn't have those kids. I wouldn't have them to this day. But that was for me the wake-up call, because I didn't realize you always hear about CPS coming and taking kids. I never realized that you would mourn that you would grieve it. So when I was visiting my son, my daughter was old enough to understand, hey, she didn't like it, but I didn't understand the CPS process. I didn't understand that you have to prove, it's not, oh, okay, we're going to wait and you have to prove that you're innocent. No, I mean, I had to prove that I was a good mom. And they take the kids while you're going through that process. It was a really difficult process. Now, everything came back negative, but that was my wake-up call, because I'll never forget visiting my son and somebody telling me that you only have an hour. And sometimes this lady wouldn't even bring us to the visit. And I remember how heartbroken he was. And they went to a small home. The family was crowded. I couldn't believe how they just threw him in his home where the mom couldn't even take care of her own kids. And I'm thinking, here we are, a two-parent household where we're raising our kids. And my son is like, I want to go home. And at the end of each visit, I don't know if I was harming him or like, it was almost better not to see him, because he would cling to me and I would have to give him to the other people. Like, hey, it's going to be okay. Not really knowing if it was going to be okay. I didn't know. So I thank God that I was sober, and I realized that that's the only thing that's going to separate me from my kids. So there's no way I want to touch that drug again. That was my rock bottom.
Somebody asked if you believe in God.
All right, I want to share this, guys, with you. At first, so I didn't believe in anything at first. I know there was a God, but during this sobriety journey, I went on a trip, and it was in Miami, whatever that ocean is in Miami. I had got baptized out there in the middle of the ocean, and then I had an experience with God. So I do now believe in God. I absolutely do. That it was something that happened that was really crazy. And I believe in God, absolutely.
But you a Christian? You Catholic? What?
I would say Christian. I'm Christian.
Okay.
Do I go to any churches or stuff like that or anything? No, but I believe in God because I don't believe I would be here if it wasn't for God.
So,
you see a smile on my face? I am so grateful because I cannot tell you guys how chaotic life was, how painful life was. I didn't realize all the things that I was doing to myself, even just getting the drug and the crazy requests and the people that I allowed around me. I'm surprised I'm even here in my right mind talking to y'all.
So what would be the advice you would give somebody?
If I had to give somebody
cocaine and methamphetamine, what would your advice be to them?
To just stop. You're not going to feel like it. Just know that it's going to get better. It's okay to feel uncomfortable because you will feel uncomfortable, but you need to go through that to get better. There's no other way to put it. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You'll be miserable, but it takes that for your body to cleanse. And I would tell people to stop. Just stop before you're ready. Yes, you can go to treatment and do all that stuff, but it's very important to stop, because as long as you have that drug, that toxin going into your body and hitting your brain, you're not going to understand. All right, you're not able to understand why you need to be sober at that point. But as you start to get healthier, you're going to realize it's worth it. And all my best advice is just to stop before you're ready. Stop poisoning your brain, because you're causing more damage. And once it's time and you decide to get sober, once it's time to get sober, that's when the work begins. So I do not regret getting sober and going through all the stuff that I went through, because I'm here to talk to you guys about it and let you guys know what the addiction was like. No matter what I feel like, happy, sad, grieving, I tell myself not to pick up, because I'm going to feel those things anyway, and it's worse under the influence of a drug. That's what I'm going to say. Can I explain what recovery out loud means, and why did I choose to be authentic about your journey? All right. There's a few things that went into that. When I looked online at other channels that talked about sobriety, they all had a few years under their belt. I didn't see anyone that was at day zero. By day zero, I mean, I was just wanting to get sober. I didn't have any days under my belt. So I decided that I was going to share the relapses, the ups and the downs. So that way other people that didn't have a platform, didn't have a voice, they would feel validated and they would know that they weren't alone. I felt very alone in the beginning. To this day, they'll call me junkie, methiana, stuff like that. I can handle that kind of stuff. All right. I understand the ignorance, but some people can't handle it. So I decided to share my experiences, hoping that other people can relate to it. And if they have family members or somebody that they don't understand addiction, because some people think, oh, if they love me, they'll stop using the drug. It's not that we don't love you. We're not able to handle the emotions, so we use the drugs to self-medicate, and it's a cycle. So if we're feeling sad, we feel that, like, if you're sad, we feel it with you, but then we're going to go and medicate ourselves. So I wanted to share those experiences. And at the time, I didn't understand it all. I didn't understand it, and I'm still learning a lot about it, but I do believe in recovering out loud. I don't want to be that person that people are watching on YouTube. I'm just putting my best self for it. Like, hey, you guys, I want to share the ups and the downs, the depressions, and how I make it through. Even if I'm depressed, even if I'm regretting my past or people are putting me down, I still push through. And I'm hoping that other people will do it with me. She's a part, my sister, you are going and you was giving off good energy towards people that need to hear this. Thank you, Rome. I appreciate that. When you look in the mirror today, with who or what do you truly see now? Jay Cannon, when I look in the mirror, I see somebody that that's a mom. I just see somebody that overcame a lot of stuff. All right. And I'm very grateful. And I can't put that into enough words. I'm very grateful. I don't hold my head in shame. I'm pretty proud of how far I've come. So, Queen, are you still able to be around people that still use and able to stay sober? Larry, I sure can. As a matter of fact, I was going to do an interview with one of my old dealers because I wanted him to tell his story. Am I crazy? Will I put myself in a bad situation? Absolutely not. But if somebody is using, I'm not going to relapse with them, but I also won't put myself in a compromising position. So, you know, I do appreciate this conversation because there's a lot of stigma behind substance abuse disorder, and a lot of people are ashamed and they don't get help. Some of my biggest critics are people that use drugs. So, and with that being said, there's a lot of things that go with the addiction, and that's a lot of things that people don't like to talk about. That's why I spoke a little on the dealers and what it felt like to have to cop this drug, why I would pay extra 2 times as much, 3 times as much, because there's a lot of things that go with it. So with addiction comes a lot of shame. I don't feel that shame. Well, sometimes I do, but I choose to share those stories anyway, so people can understand. But it is hard, and with meth addiction, it's really hard to get sober because it takes so long after you've used it for a while. It literally takes about a year, and so a lot of people give up before they hit that year. Let me see what else y'all are saying. Any YouTube links? Just like my channel, my name on here, if that's what you're asking.
Misunderstood.
Mm-hmm. You know, when I came up with that name, I feel that a lot of people misunderstand MU, which was a play on a word, because I was really calling myself misunderstood. Like, I understand you. People don't get me, but I get them. I have a lot of empathy for other people. I don't judge other people. Sometimes I have too much empathy. At times it gets me in trouble. But, you know, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. What does it feel like to be 2 years sober, and what's next on your journey? My next journey is to make it to 3 years sober. And Denia is familiar. So what I'm struggling with now is not trading one addiction for another. Alcohol has never been my thing. When I would use alcohol, I would use it with the meth because, like, some people think that if you use alcohol with meth, it's gonna make you feel, it's gonna calm you down, but actually it makes you feel higher, right? You just put a depressant and a stimulant in your body, and it's a crazy effect. I'm not telling y'all, it's dangerous to do so. Don't try it. But so alcohol's not my thing, but I am worried about food because a lot of people stop using and then they become chunky. Nothing wrong with my chunky sisters, but that canned food is an addiction that we don't like to talk about. It's hard. So that's my journey right now, is keeping my weight in check, keeping things in check. I don't want to trade one addiction for another. So that's been on my mind.
Okay,
Did you understand what I was saying, 10 toes, with that? Did you know, it's easy to do that. It's easy to start eating for comfort. You want to feel comfort. So I'm trying to just feel it.
A lot of people turn to food and start gaining weight. A lot of people that get out of drug addiction programs and all that, they usually gain a lot of weight.
Yes.
That's because they substitute the food for that. And food is a major killer too. You know, high blood pressure and all these different things, strokes and everything like that.
You're right. So, absolutely.
Gotta watch what you eat and watch what you put in your body. That's it. So I wanted to open up the floor for questions and answers. But what I really like to see is because everybody been asking their questions up in the chat. So I know when I throw something in the chat, it ain't gonna be nobody really gonna pull up to show their face to ask questions because they doing it from right there. But what I really wanted to do, I really wanted to have a segment with you again, with somebody that's addicted that I can have here with me, and you could talk to them.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
If I could say one thing, you guys, when Google search, you'll see a lot of mess with my name, right? A lot of things that I went through, and it is what it is. I overlook all that. I'm going to tell you guys this. Despite whatever you've done, whatever relationships messed up, whatever, it gets better, but it's a process. So if you don't get anything else for what I'm telling you guys, like as I'm sitting here sharing with you guys, it's like, I don't mind what you ask me. I don't care what people say to me. I'm just very happy to sit here and talk to you guys about what it was like. So there's nothing that you can't ask me. Hang on. Right.
So there you have it, guys. Misunderstood is understood now. Her name is Misunderstood, but she's understood now. There's no misunderstanding about her addiction, how she overcame it. There's no misunderstanding of what you're seeing. This is no beauty in disguise. This ain't no bunch of makeup or nothing. You still beautiful, no matter what it is. Not just speaking to her, but just to all people out there, man, woman, and child. It don't matter who you are. That no matter what you go through, you're still a beautiful soul. You're still a beautiful soul of God, Allah, whatever religion you believe in. You're still a spiritual being that deserve everything that comes to you after that addiction, that sobriety. You deserve all the accolades, and you do need the shoot downs. You do need the people who talk bad about you and say everything to give you your truth. Like, yo, you know, you was a foul, dirty motherfucker. You was running all the streets. You wasn't take care of your kids. Yeah. That's something to help you continue on your journey, because that's part of the journey. That's what I feel. I feel like that's part of the journey. That's like if people talk about my past and what I did in the past. You was out here selling drugs. You was out here carrying guns, shooting people and all that. And they still try to hold that against me. And I don't blame them for holding it against me. Go ahead. You can continue holding it against me. That's not who I am. But I like for you to continue to remind me of it so I won't have to go back to it again. And that's for a lot of people who don't like to reflect and remember the past of the things that they went through. So sometimes people get off drugs and think that they got it and forget where they came from and stick their chest out. But when you be hearing it all the time, when people talk about you, you want to show to the people that that's not me. That's not who I am. You want them to see the real Misunderstood, your real name in that empty space. You know, that's why when it comes to your tombstone, it got the date that you was born, and then it got that little dash, and then the date that you left. That dash is everything that you went through in your life. All those tombstones in them cemeteries, everybody got a dash, and they goddamn the day they came here and the day that they left. What's going to be in between your dash? Her right here, she's a living testimony. She's able to give back to the people, and you can see it in the physical form that it is possible. Now, a lot of your people don't know who she was before and what she was going through and how she was in denial. She was fighting. I went through it with her.
Yeah.
Back and forth, and I'm trying to tell her shit. She wasn't trying to hear nothing I'm talking about. She was justifying everything she was doing. She wasn't trying to put that shit down. But I understood it, though. I understood it because it is an addiction. And that's the same thing with criminal thinking and criminal behavior. That's an addiction. You know how many times where I relapse just thinking like, let's punch this motherfucker right in his motherfucking face. That's a relapse right there. I'm about to punch him, and when I just fucked up and I relapsed all over again. So all them years I was doing good and was battling this addiction of crime, criminal thinking and behaviors, I fucked up. So we got to give her accolades and continue to support the sister. Everybody that's seeing this video now and those that's going to look at it later on, I ask you to continue to support her. Go over there and look at Misunderstood. She's understood. Don't get caught up on her little beauty, her little smiles, and all that. So I wanted to ask you something here. I'm gonna show you a picture and you just tell me about it. Okay?
Okay. Oh God. Weirdo. Yeah. Bad history there.
Bad history.
Somebody that I wish I never would have met, where I met under the guise of I want to help her, only for this person to do what he's did in my house and steal from my house. And all. I'll never forget that. I would never do what people have done to me. If you invite me in your home, I'll never steal anything. I'll never violate, I won't do anything like that. Even in the thick of my addiction, I never would do that. And the fact that someone could do that and to this day justify it, and people tell me that I did this person so wrong, I wish that there was people that I never met. And that's one of my biggest regrets in addiction. It's like the people that I met that I didn't even realize all the things I was opening myself up to. Now I can tell you this, I don't stay there because I'm not in that place anymore. And I've learned from these experiences, but they were very painful experiences. And the stuff, yeah, as soon as I seen it, I'm like, why? Why was the thing that crossed my mind? But I've moved on, and that person has to live with that stuff. But I remember, let me tell you, some of the worst things as far as that situation is no matter the receipts, and my receipts, I got receipts after receipts after receipts, right? That stuff I do. But how people would justify it and just say, oh, she's an addict, she don't know any better. The women that was surrounding him to try to make it seem like I did something to this person. I'm like, wow, why is it like this? Why can't we, why do we protect someone that's trying to cause harm to someone else? And yeah, that was a bad time. But I gotta say, I'm not there anymore, and that's how I deal with it. Not there anymore.
That's what's up. That's good. And all it was a season. That's it. It came in your life, it left, and you learned from it. As long as you learn from it, that's the process. So if you learn from it, I had
to close those doors. And some of the hardest things, I will not forget this without going into details about this, is when, you know, there was this lie that, hey, I apologize to this person, or someone had called you over on their platform lying to you about, hey, she's in contact with this person, she forgave that person. It's one thing to go through something, and another for, especially when a woman justifies it and tries to silence you. I remember going through that, I'm thinking, what are you talking about? I would never befriend that person. I would never apologize to that person. What are you talking about? No, I don't, there's just a lot of things that went with that. And I just remember, you know what? Those are one of the times I said I was going to get well. I was going to get well and then speak. But, you know, you understood, and you were, and, you know, you just wanted me to get sober. So I appreciate that. But that's the best thing about being sober, is I don't allow people like that to come into my life. Not even close.
That's good.
Yeah.
Somebody misunderstood. How can people find you to book you to speak at the events?
Oh, now that's something crazy that's been happening, is I've been getting offers to speak at different places, y'all. I met a bunch of physicians, and, you know, I got to speak to Magic Johnson, and I got to speak to Cedric and all these people, but I got invited to like these, to speak amongst, you know, about addiction and with really important people. I'm like, why would they want to hear from me? But when I tell them my story, because I can't help talking about it, then I've been invited to a lot of places. But I don't mind speaking about it anywhere. I don't care how big or small your channel is. I'll speak about it. Misunderstood is my channel. You can leave me a comment, and I will give you my email, or Nicole Uncensored on Instagram. NICHOLE, and then Uncensored on Instagram. I'm easy to find. It's probably easier to leave me a comment under one of my videos on YouTube, and I'll respond to you.
How about
but
email?
There's been like crazy stuff happening, you guys. I went to school. Like I said, I wanted to work with addicts, so I could tell y'all all about the personal stuff. Like, yeah, all of that crazy stuff. But I wanted to understand more of what was happening with my body. So I went to a program, and I start working towards my psychology degree in July. So I'm going back to school in July to finish that degree. And so there's been a lot of things that's been happening. Yeah, got employed in every damn thing.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, Misunderstood, for coming.
Thank you.
That time flew by. God damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, Misunderstood. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give you time. I'm gonna let you close out. Leave all your information. Say what you gotta say. And I thank you, Queen. Definitely. You know, it's been a while since you've been on here. It's great having you. Like I said, I want to have you back, and I want to have somebody up here with you when you could talk to them about the addiction.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's a lot better. I'm a lot better than the last time I was here. So I appreciate you having me back.
Definitely, Queen.
After all of that.
And matter of fact, you know what? I had a lot of beef with dudes. Oh man, you like to be going at it with dudes. I had a lot of beef with dudes because I used to be calling you Queen, I was like, all right, queen. They'd be like, how the fuck is you calling her queen? She ain't no motherfucking queen and all this and that. She on drugs, this and that. And I used to have to fire dudes up. But now, look, for all you suckers and all you haters out there that was talking shit, look, the sister's still here. She living, survived, beautiful skin, complexion, everything's together. She got a man. She's happy. She still got her condo, her kids. You couldn't break her, devil. You couldn't break her. So go ahead, Misunderstood. I'm going to let you close out. Go ahead.
It's so funny because the last time I was here and people were talking to me about sobriety, I really meant what I was saying, but I had no way to really understand the work that needed to be done. And so being here today with you guys, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. My channel is Misunderstood. And I just say keep going. I appreciate you guys just even listening to me and hearing me out. Yes, there's been a lot of crazy things. And yes, I went through a lot of stuff. But I believe all of that stuff helped prepare me for what's in store. And I'm here today. And if I get a little choked up sometimes, and it's just because I'm so grateful and I can't believe how far I've come. And no matter what you've been through, it can get better, all right, as long as you don't give up. There's plenty of times I wanted to give up. There's plenty of times I thought about just ending my life, and I'm still here, and I'm so glad I did it. So thank you, 10 Toes Down, for your support, because he's supported me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, chat, and I see y'all around. Thank y'all for listening, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Jim, hit sets like I'm fucking with Jim. 20 stones in my watch cost a stack, and I ain't missing a gym. Overheads, you ain't fucking with them. All my niggas do drive by, circle the block and shoot you again.
10 Toes Down TV. Nothing into something. No handouts, I don't need nothing. Nothing into something. No matter what, I'm 10 toes down to this shit. They praying on my fall, ain't no way that I'ma quit. I'm coming for it all, I don't wanna have to pick. I want it, I'ma get it. And if I have to bet, I get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Oh yeah, I can get it on my own. Get it out the mud, turning nothing into something. I'm good on that big love, no handouts, I don't need nothing. I had to be alone just to see how much I've grown. Don't gotta hit my phone, cause I can get it on my own. Yeah, I'm off the scene right now. On a mission, so the moon.
Hey yo, the joint is called 10 Toes Down TV.